And we're on.
And that was the first time I had experience with a body bag, and it was weird. we're recording.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is the Permanent Relegation Podcast. I am Andy.
Chris.
As usual, we're here at Fisher's Chatham. And Don Tropoli. We are at the Fisher's Chatham Tap. I don't even know why I'm reading these beer lists because we're not broadcasting it to anybody. So if you want to come out here, there's a bunch of Hoosier beers here.
It's great.
From the friends of the show, Blackacre.
Yeah.
And Danny Boy and some other stuff. Anyway, we definitely want to thank our sponsors,
right.
Chatham Tap and Fishers, as well as Global Scarves. So the scarf, I think, is behind you. But we have a nice scarf, Coach, if you would like to.
If you'd like
it. No, you can put it on if you'd like. It's too hot in here.
It's
all right. It's not back there.
Coach can have it.
Yeah, you want that? Yeah, give him the scarf.
Give him a scarf.
We got plenty of scarves.
You can have it.
Have a permanent relegation scarf.
It'd be funny. You just go to practice and be like, permanent relegation. This is what you guys are going to get. You keep this shit up.
Even though there's no pro.
I know. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Right.
Jesus. You can find us on Twitter at PR Podcast Show and tweet your questions using hashtag BYBcast. We've got tons of questions to get to. We're not going to go through all the rigmarole that we usually do, but joining us this evening, Indy 11 head coach,
the one and only
Tim Hankinson.
Yes.
Technically his second appearance on the show.
Yeah.
Because he graced us with his presence of being a sniper in the deer blind during our
during our black leather briefcase in the woods segment.
Yes. So if you want to go check that out, make sure that you go back and listen to the kickoff ball show and listen to Coach Hankinson's awesome answer. So, Coach, really appreciate you joining us tonight.
Great to be here. Thanks for the invitation.
So what we'll do, I think we might we want to start off how we usually start off.
Yeah. For those that don't know, just a brief listen. We can't go through. I mean, it took me 27 minutes just to read like half your Wikipedia page, right? No, I mean, you've been everywhere, done everything, seen everything there is. So you have to give your entire history. But I
just kind of want to know how the journey to becoming a head coach started and what kind of caught your initial eye to being a coach. And
it's unfortunate that a lot of kids coming through high school and going through college, they really don't know. They don't have a specific passion that's been kind of clarified in their mind that that's what they want to be.
Right.
I knew early on that going back to high school, I had very good high school coaches, kind of like I want to be like them. Yeah. And I started the career path towards coaching, getting coaching licenses already in college. And when I left University of South Carolina, I became a head coach at an NAIA school in Atlanta, Georgia, and have been a head coach ever since. About 36 years now.
So it was right out of college. You're like, you know what, head coach, let's do this.
That's it. I had ideas for the game, and didn't want to follow someone else. And having looked back on it, as I give advice to young coaches, I always say, be an assistant for a good head coach. There's a lot to learn. You don't want to make the mistakes that I made, and go through the learning curve. Better to learn from guys like Jerry Egley at University of Indiana and others. So when you get your shot, because you don't get that many shots, that you're prepared for it.
And you've had some pretty big names kind of mentor you, though.
Being an assistant for good coaches. For those that don't know, you've been an assistant for, rattle them off. Some of these big names people may not know.
I've not been an assistant for anybody.
But he's been mentored.
I've been mentored. I've been to Arsenal twice. Arsene Wenger there. We bought a player from their team to bring to Major League Soccer. And also spent time in coaching schools in Scotland where Alex Ferguson, at that time, he was at Aberdeen. That shows you how far back it goes. He hadn't gone to Manchester United back.
Sure.
But learned a great deal from people like that along the way.
Did you, we ask players this all the time, did you kind of look up to anybody going through the ranks of coaching styles or playing styles? Anybody that you kind of looked up to be like, I want to kind of model myself after that, or did you have an idea of how you like the game to be played and this is how it's going to be?
There are a number of countries that all have particular portions of the game that I admire. I mean, I love the physical science that Germany implements in their thinking. I love the fun that the Scots put into it, but we all admire the possession passing of Spain, and also the player development of Holland, the way that technically they prepare their players to I mean, we're pretty good at producing good players in this country, but we don't produce elite players. And Holland has a method of training that they produce elite players for the rest of the world.
Definitely. I mean, that's, and you can kind of see it from at least your brief time here in Indy. And I want to kind of get that quick story of how you got brought here. Obviously, Tim Regan was filling in as an interim role here. And then how'd the call go? What kind of was that search like? Was it something on your end, or did they reach out to you, be like, hey, do you want to come to Indy?
It really started close to 20 years ago. Peter Wilt was the president and general manager of Chicago Fire. I was a head coach in Major League for 7.5 years and worked for the league office as director of player development. So Peter and I crossed paths many times working on player personnel and also competing against his team. I mean, he had Bob Bradley there, and then I was coaching Tampa Bay and Colorado. So, you know, I knew Peter, and when the opening occurred, and of course, being in the NASL already with San Antonio, then the opportunity came for us to have that conversation. And then it was a video Skype with Ursal, our owner, and Peter, and eventually coming up for a face-to-face and moving forward.
And you were with San Antonio in 2013, was that correct?
2012 and 2013.
Okay, so did you come to? We weren't ready. We weren't there yet, were we?
No.
Right. Yeah, we weren't there yet.
Right.
So
I moved on to Montego Bay United down in Jamaica, and so you all.
I didn't know you had any type of Jamaican connection. Didn't know that. That's good.
What kind of stories did you hear about the? We talk about, obviously we're kind of voice of the fans. We talk a lot about the fan interaction, especially the way the city has kind of accepted this team. Was that a selling point from them too, of being like, you're coming to a place that's selling out every night or almost every night, getting 9,000 to 10,000 people?
Clearly, as a coach and even as a player, a lot of the players that we have that have joined the team this year, it's all about the fans. I mean, players and coaches want to walk into a stadium that rocks, and that's what we've got going on here is the Brickyard Battalion and just the fanfare and the branding that's taking place. Everybody knows Indy 11 is excited about it.
This guy is so seasoned on interviews. His interviews are like, his answers are so succinct.
What that means with Chris is right now he's trying to figure out a way to trip you up.
No, I can't. He's too much of a vet.
Bring it. I'm ready.
We talked about this before we got on the show, where he said, "Listen, you got to understand when you have 23 professional athletes, you got to be ready to go and have your wits about you. I don't think one random goofball on the internet here is going to throw this guy off. So I don't think we have anything to worry about.
Well, I've been doing this a long time, and you may be trying to apply pressure, but St. Augustine said that pressure is the friction that polishes us and makes us noble. So bring it.
There it is.
Bigger the pressure.
Now we're starting to bring out quotes.
Well, all right. Well, this has been fun.
Well, the thing with us is we do the exact opposite of pressure, and then you start to let your guard down, and then you start to say things you probably
see. We have to go through this particular portion here, which is, tell us the history. What do you do? What do you like? What are your favorite things? Which are no hobbies. It's coaching, and coaching. We learned that as well.
Coaching
which
can be a hobby.
Not if you're getting paid. So it's just coaching.
Right.
So,
you can't get fired from a hobby. You can get fired from coaching.
I don't know. You haven't seen me at chess matches.
Oh, God. I don't know. All right. So we have some.
Speaking of the internet.
Yeah.
We've got some. We usually go on Reddit. I think you did an AMA when you first came. Right. And so we've got a ton of questions, but I kind of want to break up the monotony of our questions.
I want to ask this question. When they came to you, did you know before or right when you did it? Did you know what an AMA was? Did you know what it actually meant?
Not exactly.
Okay.
And the questions that came, were way out there.
Oh, trust me. There's some on here too.
So you do know what AMA means now, and why the weirdest questions were anything.
Right.
Okay. That's why we don't pose it as an ask me anything.
Right. So now he's like, yes. Whenever I see those three letters show up, I go, nope, not happening.
So based on what you've seen from your time in Jamaica, does that country have not only the talent, but also the developmental coaching facilities to become a consistent power in CONCACAF? Or are we just witnessing the result of a generation inspired by the country's only World Cup berth?
They're a mixed group from the standpoint of using the local player that plays in the Red Stripe Professional League, speaking of beer. And then they also, for players that have Jamaican bloodline that might be playing in England or other countries or the United States leagues, they'll often bring these players in. Now, every country is kind of in that boat. U.S. does it. We have European-based players and we have domestic-based players. But the training of those players is quite different. So there's very little continuity. The lack of infrastructure in Jamaica, the fields, the stadiums, facilities, very poor. The financial, I mean, the top players are being paid $300 or $400 a month compared to what they can make here. But you do have world-class athletes. I mean, let's face it, Jamaican sprinters are some of the best in the world. Every Olympics you're seeing.
Well, or the best, period.
Could be the best, yeah. Put Bolt with a soccer ball in front of him, and we've got,
Bolt, a huge United fan. I'm just trying to do everything to forget about what happened today.
How'd that game go today?
We're letting Coach ask the questions.
No, I just want to hear this answer. How'd the game go today? They lost today. Wow. So are you going to make it to Champions League this year?
Probably not.
Oh man, you just failed out again. That's amazing. Anyways, sorry. This guy deserves it.
I hate you so much.
That's okay.
He deserves it.
But I think also the Jamaican players and culture, they're like Brazilians from the standpoint of their passion for the game.
Okay.
So with better infrastructure, better coaching, all of that, then they can move in a very positive direction. And a few World Cups ago, they did qualify. Right. And so it shows it is possible, but it's not consistently possible until there's a better structure in place in Jamaica.
See, well, that's what's interesting about that is it's kind of the same thing you get with the success you have, like with the Brazilian women's team. They have zero. They have literally like the coaching, any facilities, nothing. They have no financials that come to them. And it goes down to you have people that have a passion for the sport, and you have incredible talent and athletes that kind of grow up with it. But you're right, no infrastructure, but they still produce. And it's not all the time. Brazil's always generally pretty good, but they have big dips like they do kind of right now. But it's the same thing. It's funny when you don't have the facilities and you don't have that, you can only do so much on that. So it's weird. It's
no. And with your time in Jamaica, and you spent, what was it, the last 2 years down there?
No, just a year, about 8 months.
Okay, and then one of the guys that you were really high on, Omar Gordon, who has just joined the team in the last few games, probably about 3 weeks, 4 weeks.
Two games.
Yeah. What was one of the things? What's one of the biggest things with him that is taking him a bit to acclimate a little bit based off of that? He was really good in that league down there, but now he's coming up here and he's got that ramp up time. What kind of, as a coach and as someone who's known him already,
challenges?
Yeah, what kind of things are you trying to get him to get through?
Well, first of all, his personality has not come out. His nickname is Turtle.
Okay.
And he arrived here.
Did not know that.
Yeah, he arrived here in Indianapolis kind of in his shell.
Okay.
And it's taking him time to come out of his shell. And when he does, then he'll explode on the scene. I mean, getting 20 goals in that league down there, you're playing against, again, tremendous athletes. They may not be tactically as structured and knowledgeable as the defenders he's facing right now. And also remember, he's still trying to figure out what this player does, what's his tendency. And all our players are looking at him with the same. So usually you get that out of the way in preseason. So when the season starts, everybody knows each other's little nuances. But that's going to take time. And, I'm sure that there's a little bit of nerves trying to prove something that he's worthy right from the start. And that puts an added pressure to his game. So it'll settle in. I'm very excited to have him here. And down there, he was, again, from the wing position to get 20 goals, tremendous. He's very explosive, but his work ethic, his engine to return to defend is endless. And you don't see that often from the wingers and the strikers. Usually they love the daisy walk back.
Are you seeing this process maybe being expedited a little bit with having guys like Lavelle and Don be there? They've kind of been there, kind of help and acclimate him a little bit more to playing here? He's
actually rooming in an apartment with Don. And understand is that the apartment that they live in,
Don, the super chef, apparently.
Well, he's the only one cooking right now.
Okay. All right. Excellent. Good. Okay. Fair enough.
They have nice apartments, though. They've got it's owned by Ursal downtown Carmel.
Yeah.
So
no, that is a beautiful apartment complex. And for someone like Gordon, he's lived in a shack, no screens on the windows, mosquitoes everywhere. Food conditions, hygiene conditions in the apartment and showers and bathroom, very, very difficult. And so walking into this environment, I'm sure he's just stargazing, and it's, like I said, it's just going to take a time for him to feel comfortable within himself and his teammates. And then his game will start to surface.
Some more from online. What currently do you see as the team's biggest weakness?
There are two. One is that we have to be able to build out of the back, not so much from a defender standpoint, But when the defenders have the ball and they're knocking around, they're looking for midfielders to come and take it off of them and start to turn the ball upfield to connect the defense to the attacking end. And I feel too often our midfielders check back to the ball. We play them, and they play it right back to the defenders. We're not going from back to midfielder to the attack. We're going from back to midfielder back. And so that progression, that transition period is something we have to get better at. The other part is the quality around the back. If you look at our statistics from this last game, we kept the ball 18 minutes in our half, but there's no pressure there. So we're allowed to keep the ball. We had the ball 9 minutes in their half where they're trying to close us up and stop us.
And Edmonton was a hugely defensive team, too. That was all about counters.
Right. And we only had the ball in our final third, meaning close to their goal, 5 minutes of the game. So you cannot expect to score the number of goals that you want having the ball only near their goal 5 minutes a game.
Sure.
And those 5 minutes, you start to look at what did we do during those 5 minutes? We had 14 crosses, but only 3 were in the accurate area, meaning an area near the goal that we could actually take advantage of. So there's some inefficiencies both in the transition from back into the attack and also the quality that we bring around the box is going to greatly improve. So if you said, do we have strikers that are goal scorers? I might say, I don't know, because we haven't given them the kind of service and opportunities to find out, are they good at putting the ball in the back of the net? Now, we work on it every day, and it will improve.
So based off the last game, there were a couple of instances, which I'm sure you've gone over game footage and looked at all of that, where there was times to pass and times to shoot, and sometimes the decision to shoot was taken instead of trying to pass it off and get the open man. Is that something that's focused on practice, or is it just if you've got a view, go for it?
Every time a player gets the ball, whether it's a defender or whether it's a striker, they probably have 5 choices around. One choice, the worst choice, would be to lose the ball. All right.
Yeah, right.
The second worst choice would be to play it back, meaning a negative ball. We're not progressing. The other one might be what we call a square ball, meaning we're not going forward, we're not going backwards, but again, we're not making progress. Making a final pass that leads to a cross or a final pass that leads to a striker run, those are much higher choices. And certainly the opportunity to get a shot yourself is the highest of choices. So you start to judge players on, are they making the top 2 or 3 choices on a regular basis, a consistent basis? And there's some of our guys that do very well with that, and there's some of the guys that, they play back too much or they lose possession too easy, and these are things that we have to keep improving. But yes, it's a daily conversation. Every time a guy makes one of the lower groupings of decisions, I have to stop training and say, look, this would have been a better choice.
Sure.
And that's not a criticism. It's just encouraging him to see that there was a better choice there, and hopefully next time he gets in that same spot and situation and he looks to select one of the better ideas.
What was your honest opinion of playing on the surface at Oklahoma?
It was terrible. I mean,
that's one of the things he said. He said too, is it was bad.
I watched it on BN,
right.
And I looked at it, and they had little shots of them kind of pulling it up and doing all this. And there's multiple times that ball skipped, right? And I looked at it, and I went, I know this is supposed to be a new technology. Like, this might be one of the worst things I've ever seen. It was right up there with when we had a Champions Cup here with Inter Milan and Chelsea that was done down in Lucas Oil, and they tried to put turf or actual sod over turf,
right?
And that was coming up, and players are falling.
Jose Mourinho,
yeah. So it was.
Well, you've gone to a daycare, or you look at someone's basement, and they've got those foam things that kind of fit together and create a surface.
They'll go together.
This was about that level. And again, as you pointed out, during the '94 World Cup, when you had some of the World Cup games being played in like the Silverdome in Detroit, they had a system of blocks of real grass that they would grow in the parking lot outside, and then they would bring them in, and the squares clipped together to secure them, so that there was no coming up.
Right.
But the field was much harder than a normal surface. We played on that in the Meadowlands in Major League when they were doing that.
Right.
The surface at UConn Stadium underneath is a typical high school football field turf with the rubber pellets and, but all of the football lines. And that's what we're trying to get rid of. We practiced at Rio OKC the day before, and there had been some drizzle. And they refused to put the little rubber base line there, which is what gives your cleats grip.
Yeah.
And our guys looked like they were in the ice capades. I mean, they were slipping and sliding. We were lucky that game day, the day was dry, the sun came out.
Yeah.
So at least that
lucky
was
there's
not
no
an issue.
injuries.
Well,
Exactly.
dangerous as well, right?
But there will be games where there is moisture, and you're going to see what looks like a farce out there.
So if it, I guess, I mean, I know you invest money in that, but if everybody, and this isn't like some, this is like everybody that's even played on it, you can read tweets about it. Everybody has conclusively said,
Nicky even had a picture of it where he pulled it up and saw the Velcro underneath.
Yeah, but every player that's played there has said something about this. When do you go, I know we've invested money, but this is going to hurt somebody. This is not a good decision. This is bad tech.
So when is the last time you saw Velcro? It's kids who can't tie their shoes, right? Yeah.
Right.
And
I mean, I like snappers myself. They're great.
I actually have Velcro on right now.
Yeah.
My shoes are Velcro right now.
Yeah, but it is a dangerous surface.
Okay, one crazy question.
Ready.
Because it is Reddit.
Okay.
What shampoo do you use?
Oh, my God.
Because your hair, obviously, is a big deal, apparently, with it among the crowds. Aaron said he was going to wear a Hankinson wig.
And he lied.
Total bullshit.
When you get this age and your hair turns white from all of the players that have given you a hard time.
I don't care.
Yeah, but you have to use, I won't give the brand, but you have to use like that purple shampoo because it takes silver and white hair and it keeps it from getting yellow.
Okay.
Turn yellow. So
hey, look, Colluder wore his 1996 sweater. This is great. I'm super glad.
Good to see Grunge Colluder came to the show.
American Eagle wants their sweater back. We're good. Anyways.
And then, okay, final question from Reddit, and then we'll kind of move on. But the U.S. Open Cup starts, well, in the 11s, NPSL starts tomorrow. Right. But the first match for the 11 is June 1st.
Right.
Which is actually 2 games prior to the end of the spring season.
Right.
Given that team could play in the middle of the spring title chase, will that change how you approach the U.S. Open Cup, and would a potential playoff spot make you reconsider the importance of that competition?
U.S. Open Cup is the oldest soccer tournament in this country, 100-year history.
This question is written by a guy who is super crazy passionate about the U.S. Open Cup.
Well, I mean, we got excited at the Speedway, the Indy 500 Festival, and it's the 100th anniversary. And you think about that landmark, the Open Cup holds just as big of a importance to people in the game.
Right.
And there's also a big cash prize for those who win it. So players are in it to win it. There are teams that will try to offset, not use as many starting players and all like that. I feel we owe the Indy fans every time we put on our jersey our best possible lineup that night. I just feel like Manchester United plays that way. Great teams around.
Shut up, Chris. Shut up. Shut up.
Now, he may have thought that was the right lineup, his best lineup, but maybe that was the issue. Maybe it wasn't.
Right.
So we will put out everything we can in the U.S. Open Cup. It's a chance that if we get past that first round, we probably host a major league team, which is a real measuring stick for us. And they're always upsets. I mean, I remember in San Antonio, Houston Dynamo came to town and we beat them 1-0 that night. And that was a big moment for the club. So being that those games are on Wednesday, it does give you from Saturday to Wednesday recovery, and then from Thursday to the next Saturday recovery. So, we'll put our best foot forward.
If we draw Louisville, it was Louisville. Yeah, Louisville City again. Can you guarantee that we kick their ass this year because they beat us last year?
I will guarantee that we are going to put our best lineup on the field.
There it is.
There's that professional answer.
That's very good.
Yeah. So, those are all the Reddit. I mean, there's one that was, if you were a professional wrestler, what would your finishing move be called? And what music would you use to walk out to the ring?
Oh, my God. One of the most spectacular, awesome moments was Leicester City.
Yeah.
Just collecting their trophy in their stadium, all the blue and white, the chants. And there's Bocelli, the tenor, the opera singer.
He did the song at the beginning.
Nessun Dorma, right? And of course, you recognize that song because it's been used in many, many movies just before someone dies, like The Godfather. It's been repeated many times. But it was just such a spectacular thing. So I think if Bocelli can sing for me when I enter the ring, that would be great.
That would be fantastic.
So,
all right, there's the Reddit question.
Great. So, question for me. So, outside of the teams that you coach, are you a fan of a specific team? Do you have a club? Do you have a club, either whether it be here nationally, so whether it be MLS, obviously in ASL, we know your team now, and then what about worldwide? Do you have a club?
You know, I watch, just like I talked about different coaches having different influences. There are different clubs that are shaping the way they play. And so I'm not necessarily a fan of one particular, but parts of many.
Okay.
You know, you look at back in the 70s, Ajax started to create a triangle midfield in the center, wing play, and one sole striker. And a lot of teams started to mimic that because of the offensive output. And then Barcelona comes along, and they're so good that teams say, we can't afford to play a second forward. We've got to drop another player into the midfield to try and slow down what they do, right? And so you look at, in both cases, one took an attacking approach to it, the other one took a defensive approach to it.
Right.
And but this year we started with, let's say, a 4-2-3-1, one striker.
Yep.
But we are now, since the 4-4-2 going to the New York Cosmos game, and then you start looking around the world,
which made him look like an idiot, which was fantastic because he thought you were going to go back to the original formation.
Yeah, well,
he's like, don't.
But now you look at a Leicester, and Leicester's playing 4-4-2.
Uh-huh.
So Atletico Madrid 4-4-2, and so we're going through these cycles. So you have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to change and not focus on one way all the time.
Atletico Madrid feels like it's like a 7-2-1, to be honest. Their defense is so strong, like even midwise. You just feel like are you sure there's not like all defenders out here? Because it's just, they're impregnable, really. It's really
going to be an interesting Saturday for you, isn't it? Champions League and then in a way in the 11
all teams to play, Atletico is the last. I can handle Barcelona because you know what you're going to get. There's going to be scoring, but Atletico will just grind you down. And I love Diego Simeone. Talk about a coach who gets the most out of the people that he has. Diego Simeone has been amazing for me.
Yeah,
I love to hate
he
him.
has a 3-word philosophy. All right, and no, it's one is the ability to have courage, so that if you're playing Barcelona and if you're playing Real Madrid, it doesn't matter. You believe in your ability to fight equally those guys. But he also recognizes that he's not. He doesn't have the players of Barcelona, and he doesn't have the glamour players of Real Madrid. So he must look at his talent, which might be a little bit less than everyone else, and he adds to the word courage, commitment, and his ability to commit his players to a game plan and stick to it, and to commit to playing defensively, not to the point that they sit back and do just that.
Right.
It's just that, and the third C in that is compactness. So courage and commitment to being compact, and compact in soccer defensively means put numbers around the ball, squeeze and smother so that they cannot have the room to play. And that formula sets them up, because if they're not giving up goals and they're winning balls in a good area of the park,
all they need is one.
Right.
Just one.
Right. And when you face a team that's harder to break down, and you have the ego of the big clubs, then they're going to start committing more and more players forward, feeling as though to break them down, we need to send the right back, we need to send the left back. And all of a sudden the gap's open, that upon winning the ball, the counterattacks are on, and you're going to find the space to go to their goal.
And there's Griezmann scoring a goal. Again, I'm like, how did he get open? He's just, you're exactly right.
I'm going to do real talk real quick.
Yep.
So obviously with us being around for a little while and having previous coaches, previous team members, previous fans even sometimes. One of the things, and I don't know if you even pay attention to a lot of the stuff that's either written about you or talked about you online, or
I don't.
Okay. So, I mean, but one of the things is when you come in, especially as a new coach, to a team that's only had essentially 1.5 coaches, I guess, because Tim Regan's been around since the beginning.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Is there a little bit of a chip on your shoulder to be like, I'm going to come in and prove myself to these fans? You said that fans is kind of a big thing. Prove my coaching decisions, because they could be unpopular at the beginning, whether it's choosing fan favorite players to be on and that type of stuff. How do you handle that kind of that?
Well, first of all, I retained Tim to stay on the staff as one of our coaches. And the reason why we are getting along outstandingly is because neither of us have an ego. And both of them have a very modest approach to ideas and sharing and all like that. And if you're making your decisions based on what the fans are looking at, because it's about being at the park every day, seeing how the players are interacting, seeing how they take a concept and who can achieve it and who struggles with it or is going to take more time with it. And then Tim and I sit and look at that each day and say, based on our game plan that we think will work best against Fort Lauderdale, this is the group that's taking the ideas and running with it, and therefore that's going to influence our decisions, which a fan doesn't see that every day, and therefore they may, not understand quite why that's the case.
So kind of tying into that, and we talked briefly before we got on the air, and we said we wouldn't bring it up, but now when we talk about your coaching style.
No, we said we would bring it up.
Well, yeah, no, I'm saying we originally said, and he goes, no, it's okay, bring it up, which was, so for those that don't know and haven't followed your illustrious career of kind of how you do, how would you describe your coaching and what do you expect out of your players? Because as I mentioned before we got on here, is I love how direct you are. You were going to rub some people the wrong way, but you are absolutely, you say exactly what you mean. And you know me, I say the exact same things. I'm willing to live with the consequences because it's my decision on what it is. So for those that don't know you, how would you say your coaching style is, and what do you expect from your players day in and day out?
I think, first of all, in coaching, it's about getting a group of professional players together that have to buy in to a direction. And to get players to buy in, because there are egos involved, and they have their ideas on the game, sometimes you have to bend steel with one hand and have a magic wand in the other. Okay. But the one thing that is clearly a daily issue is that players, more than anything else, want to know where they stand. They want to know where they stand with the coach. Why I only got 70 minutes. Why I didn't get into the game. Why I didn't even dress, and on and on. And my style is to be very direct with them, to be very honest with them. And sometimes that's a soft-spoken conversation, just and sometimes it's not, because I
depending on the person, of course.
Right, and also if I've asked this player 3 times that I want you to play it this way,
sure,
and they keep going back to what they want to do, then that's when you have to bend steel, And but in the end, if you're telling a player something that they may not care to hear, but then you reach out and say, "But tomorrow after practice, let's work on that," so that they see that it's not just pulling a rib out of them, but you're putting something better back in place to help them improve as a player, then you gain mutual respect. And I think the players appreciate they may not like it all the time, but I think in the end they respect it.
So you talk about the bending the steel. So when would you use the magic wand? Give me a scenario how that works. What's the magic wand scenario?
Well, when you put 2 substitutes in and you score in the 89th to 94th minute.
You know what?
Right. Yep. Good point. Against the defending champions.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Question online: What's a harder decision? And decision is spelled wrong.
Congratulations.
Personnel or formation? What's a harder decision, personnel or formation? Or does it go hand in hand?
Well, it's you look at your personnel, because you have to look at the strengths and weaknesses, and you have to look at combinations of players. For example, we've talked quite a bit about how last year you had 2 or 3 central backs, but they were all markers, no organizers. This year we went out and got Colin Falvey. We also got Vukovic, who could potentially play in a similar role, even though he's playing left back right now.
But he's up there scoring goals whenever he wants to.
Right. He's down trying to nutmeg the last man.
Oh, man, that was dirty, box, too. Right. Dirty.
Right. That's awesome. But you've seen Greg Janicki's game, let's say, improve greatly and much
dramatically,
much more consistent.
Dude's
because
a completely different person than he was last year.
Because he has an organizer next to him. And I had him in San Antonio, and we had Ryan Cochran, who had won 2 MLS Cups, and Ryan is a organizing center back, and he played with Greg, and I know that he needs that combination. So when you're talking about systems and player personnel, you have to look at combinations of players, and also what you feel system-wise your players can bring out their strengths. And so it takes time, and like I said, it takes adjustments. A team is a work in progress. It has an evolution through the season. Okay. And there'll be peaks and valleys, and there are times you have to be ready to make adjustments, either because of the opponent or injuries, or maybe your team has gotten stale with a particular style or approach, and we're going to freshen it up with new ideas.
And in talk of preparation, so what do you expect out of your players in practice? We had something happen this past week.
We had a story.
It was really good on a story, because I think the positive light of this is expectation in results based on expectation.
Yeah. As a coach, you always try to keep a cool demeanor. But on Friday before the game, I blew up, and I was so angry at the players. These are professionals. These are not kids. They're not amateurs that don't know how to turn the switch on. And normally it had been a great week of practice. Monday through Thursday had been outstanding. A lot of hard work, and we were ready to go. You go into Friday, and all I ask on a Friday training after warm-up is about 15 minutes of the guys playing at a game level intensity just to get a taste.
Yeah.
And, just a feel for what level we're going to have to rise to the next night. And that also is a reinforcer to the players because they look at each other at the end of that practice and they know their teammates are ready. And so that's a big confidence builder. And then we go off and we do individual shooting and restarts and all, but that's not team dynamic so much. And we went into a possession game that was only supposed to last for 9 minutes. And if they had just strung their passes together and looked sharp, then we wouldn't have had that frustrating moment. But they looked terrible. And that's not the way you can look the day before a game. And so I basically told the team to go the F home and to not waste my time. I was glad to see the character of the players want to stay and try and work through it. That was a good response. We saw leadership stand up. John Bush asked for a player-only meeting at the field without coaches to make sure that the guys knew that they had only won 2 games and that there was nothing to take for granted at this point. And then before the game on Saturday, the final words are from the captain to the team to get the guys pumped. And but it was about that we can't have days like that. That leadership is great, but we shouldn't be having any of those conversations on the Friday or the moments before we march out there. And to me, that affected, maybe the ability to get the 3 points that night.
And one tie on that as well is, so as a coach with all your experience as well, what do you do when you have a particular player, or you have a striker, let's say, or a player that seems that they're struggling? They're struggling with what their craft is, and you can tell it's a mental thing. How do you handle that? Yeah.
Or they're struggling with what you want. I mean, because there's a difference between what the player can do and what the player can want to being your game plan.
Defender slightly out of position based on where you want, or a striker who has lost the vision of seeing a goal or anything. How do you work that player through in a positive manner?
I cut him.
Okay, you know what? I get it.
So basically, if you got the yips,
not the case.
you get cut.
No, that's not the case. Every single player on this roster will go through.
Looked at him right in his eyes, and he was just
you bought it. You legit bought it.
You got me. Well done.
Every single player will have moments of the season that aren't going their way.
Right.
Look at the defender who has the own goal, and now his head is down. He's afraid to get near the ball, or the striker that can't find the back of the net, and he's hit a cold spell.
Yeah.
And we have to just make sure we have something called pro time at the end of practice, and it's after the work is done that the team does. Usually for 15, 20 minutes, coaches split up and we help players work on the things that they want to work on. So, for example, if it's strikers and we're not finding the back of the net, then we're going to do a lot of repetitions to make sure, because, I told our team the other day, the game of soccer is building the ball from one end of the field, 120 yards from one end of the field to the other, over and over and over, to give one guy one final touch of the ball that rolls across the line in the back of the net.
Yeah.
And that one final touch has got to be perfect. It's got to be spot on, because you may only get one chance.
Right.
And so we work on these things. And if it's the defender who got beat, then we're working against the quickest player, a guy like Omar Gordon. You're going to go one-on-one against this guy, and he's going to work on his footwork and all like that. When you work on stuff, you start to build them back up. They get confidence. They feel like they can do it. And then you hope for that good moment in a game that reinforces that.
Good.
Out of your brief time here at Indianapolis, this doesn't even have to be soccer related, what has impressed you the most out of just the experience here? It could be soccer related. It could be.
Well, you could say I hate this place, and I'm just waiting for my contract over, and I'm gone. Right.
I've lived in a lot of cities in the United States and abroad, and I don't go there for the city. I go there to work at my craft, and you hope for great fanfare and great atmosphere of the stadium. But eventually you start looking around at where you're living, right?
Eating, drinking, whatever it might be.
Right. And the people of Indiana, everybody that I have met have been just fantastic. So embracing, so open. We used to say in New York, New Yorkers are hard on the outside, but warm on the inside, meaning once you break that shell, a friend for life.
But it's hard to break that shell sometimes.
Yeah, right. It takes time.
Right.
Yeah. In the deep South, It's the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
They are warm on the outside, meaning as soon as they meet you, you're in the backyard cooking out. You know,
but they're going to turn around and chew you out after you leave.
But sometimes they're hard on the inside, really letting you in. And in Indiana, I think there's just warmth. There's just great people who accept you for who you are from day one, and it's genuine. And so that's been great to be here.
I think that's one of the things too that when I talk to former players too that have gone on to play elsewhere, where they've talked to us and be like, it was way easier to make friends or to make acquaintances or just to be like accepted in Indianapolis, especially just because they played here, than it has been to go somewhere else. And people have their own cliques, or they've gone to New York and they're like, man, everybody's an asshole out here.
Right. Well, and it's not just the players. I mean, in the past 2 years, there have not been many players with wives and children. But the new group we have in are older players. And so we've had already 3 new children born this season.
Forgot about that.
And so you've got new wives, new families moving in. And the quicker that they find a way of life and new friendships and community, then they're happy, and therefore the player's happy. He comes to practice with an open mind to focus on his work because he knows, the wife is happy and the kids are doing great.
Right. I don't want to focus too much on the old garb, and we only have a few minutes left, and you can not answer this if you don't want to because it could cause issues. But I want to ask.
I like how you preface it.
I still want to ask it anyway.
So he's mentally like, all right, I'm shutting this down, that down.
I'm making a bet. I'm making my escape move. But out of the old garb, I guess, because we kept like 7 players from last year.
Probably 10.
Yeah. Out of the old garb, who has impressed you the most?
In the early part of the season, Duke LaCroix. And he's missing some qualities around the box. I mean, he can get himself into a great spot.
Young. He's got
young.
Plenty of time to grow.
He's an Ivy Leaguer. He's a smart guy. I mean, you don't have to tell him something twice. He picks up on it and immediately implements it. So,
other than us two, he's been the smartest person on the show.
That's true.
Yeah,
pretty close.
Smartest person I know. So, he's done very well. Daniel Keller is coming along. He had an injury in the preseason, and he played some games for the club at defensive midfield last year. His engine is in full gear right now and working very hard. So, those are probably the 2 right now that are at their best. This past weekend, for example, Don Smart, who has been a starter for this team, always in the 18-man roster, didn't make the 18-man roster. And he and I had a heart-to-heart today after practice because he says, how do I get back in? And just that mentality says he's open. He's open-minded to learn and get better. And sometimes a guy like that feels like, it's a step back, but it may open the door to take 10 steps further. And so now he's got the information that he needs, the straight talk, and we hope that he'll apply that in the coming practices and be right back in the thick of things. So, there was a little bit of divide early from the guys from last year and the new guys. And now this is all starting to come together, and we'll build in.
Which you can see.
Good.
I mean, that's the coolest thing is being a fan and watching the game. You can see that evolve too of starting off with that little shakiness the first couple games, and then just starting to click and starting to get the groove and know what people are doing.
And I gotta give a shout. Obviously, we had Greg to that list as well.
Absolutely,
right? So I was gonna say,
Greg's probably first on that list.
Well, and Brad, we got Brad Ring too.
And Brad has too. I mean, so forgive me for
no, you're okay.
I was thinking mostly of the reserve guys.
Sure,
but
guess what, Brad? You can't win a euchre tournament, and you didn't even get listed on this list. You're done.
Tim, do you know how to play euchre?
No, I've missed out on that one.
You got to get it. You got to get on it.
You need to learn. You got to be part of the tournament. We have a tournament.
We might change it to poker. I was thinking on the way over here, we might change it to poker.
I know. Wait. No hobbies. We don't golf. We don't have time. But do you play poker?
I can play poker.
Okay.
We might put a card tournament. We put a card tournament on last year,
and we did it with players, fans, different charity-wise. Right.
All proceeds went to charity.
That's great.
And the winners got full-size championship belts.
Oh, that's nice.
Oh yeah. We took it to practice once out of Grand Park, and everybody was fighting over who's going to get a picture of it.
They're heavy. They're like 15-pound belts. Like legit.
That's right. So it's like Cole Stone playing poker with you, right?
Yeah. All right, let's finish him up so we can get him on out of here.
Yeah, I mean, you could stay if you want.
But we know
it's 7:45, and I'm giving you the option if you'd like to stay a little longer.
It's my turn on the mic, all right?
No, don't worry about James Collider over here.
I have thoroughly enjoyed this, and I hope you'll bring me back. I know that every day I've got to spend the evening planning my practice and also getting to bed at a reasonable hour, because when you have 25 professional athletes all walking towards you at 10 o'clock in the morning, you've got to have your wits about you, and because if they think that you stayed out and aren't ahead of them, then they'll test you.
If you're out to 9:01, they're gonna know. I got a question. So, do you have a whiteboard in your house? Like, I feel like you have like a whiteboard, and you got like dry erase, and you're like coming up with schemes.
He's got a dot matrix printer.
We have numerous whiteboards at our training facility that we work with all the time. But at home, I use 4x6 blank, index cards. So I have like little miniature whiteboards that when I don't like something, I can throw it away.
Storyboarding like a motion picture.
First 15 minutes, this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
Oh,
that's good.
Before you go.
It's like Seinfeld when he has to keep the notepad.
You're done.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even know why we have him on the show. But one last thing, and we didn't even talk about it. I want thoughts about last week's game, and then not only thoughts about this next week's game, but plans for the future.
So that's 3 questions. There it is.
I told you it was coming.
There's a 3-parter.
Last year, missed opportunity to move in the top level in the league. Yes. No one thought that Carolina would lose to Fort Lauderdale.
Still only 3 points down, though.
Right, and we're a game in hand. So if we played our 6th game and got 3 points, we're tied for first place. So we're, the soccer gods are looking down on us right now.
And Minnesota tied. So that was also helpful.
Right, and yet you look at the next 5 games, and this is a sprint, and it's going to come down to who's going to get on a roll, who's going to gain momentum. And we've got 3 Florida teams in Florida, so we have to deal with the heat and humidity. That's a different condition. Have to maybe adjust how we're going to play the game. This next one with Fort Lauderdale having confidence coming off Carolina, very important game that we try to win down there. The other 2 games are against Minnesota and Carolina in the rest of the spring schedule. And what's vital about those are top teams in the league, but they're both at home, which means the fans get a piece of them and puts us in a position to maybe finish the spring looking at that final game against Carolina.
Oh, man, that could be a massive game.
I can't wait for Akira to come. Akira is going to get it.
Akira hates coming here because the BYB just destroys
Akira.
Oh, favorite chant of the BYB that you've heard so far?
Can you finish?
Oh, no, I'm sorry.
This question. Go ahead.
Shit, I do that all the time. I'm sorry.
No, so this game is vitally important. And, again, just looking at those 2 home games, setting us up against the top teams are going to be key for us.
Okay. So fine. You said there was one last one.
Yeah, I know.
Tried to ask one more. Let's Coach go.
I want favorite. Have you paid attention to any of the chants at all?
I hear a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And I haven't caught the detail of them. And if there's a place that I can go and actually read, is there? Yeah. If
you go to Slaughterhouse 19's SoundCloud page, just search Slaughterhouse 19 on SoundCloud, or there's a link off the Brickyard Battalion page. There's a link to all the
John Colluder. This is on you.
Yes. John Collider, this is yours. Yes.
Dap Colluder do it for you.
Good. I will work on those and memorize them the next time I'm on.
Coach over there screaming the chant.
We'll cheer together.
Listen, this won't be the last time that you're on. We'll have you on multiple times, so we'll make sure, and we'll get Tim. We'll get the Tim duo on one time, and maybe Colluder can let you stay out a little longer.
All right, one last story.
Okay. Yes. Oh, look at this guy keeping it longer.
So
screw you, Colluder.
Listen, so one of the strangest experiences in my international travels, we're playing in India. I was coaching the India League, and their Open Cup is called the Federation Cup. Yep. And the actual host site was up in a place called Silchar, which is up above Bangladesh. India kind of creeps up above there. It is the most northern eastern point of India.
Okay.
And so we're up there during Christmas. They don't celebrate Christmas, so I had to educate the boys, and we all went out and got presents for each other like that.
You just wanted a bunch of presents from your team.
Right? Yeah. But we're on the way to one of our games, and the bus breaks down. It was like 2 miles away. So we're saying we're going to be late. How are we going to get to the game? And they don't have taxis, but they have rickshaws. So we hired 10 rickshaws because, they only hold like two players each. Right? Yeah. And then, we needed a couple for balls and uniform.
But they're soccer players, so they're light. So that's perfect.
A rickshaw, India's Uber.
Right. And you're looking at the guy pulling it thinking, I could use this guy tonight.
His endurance, his conditioning is amazing.
Hankinson's like, listen, you've got some great pace. I think I'm going to put you in a kit tonight.
But at any rate, we finally got there, won the game, and so it was a great experience.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, that was our rickshaw game. So.
I think we're going to have just one show dedicated to Hankinson stories. That's story time with Coach Hankinson.
That's our new band name, My Rickshaw Game. That's great. I like this. This is excellent. Coach,
great to have.
Amazing. Thank you so much,
guys.
Thank you for taking the time out.
Great time.
Till next time.
Yeah. All right.
We'll
give Give John the hard questions now.
Oh,
right?
John doesn't get, and there's no remorse with it. This is where the show goes into like.
Yeah, so we're actually going to stop it and we'll make it 2 segments.
Oh no, no, we're just going to go.
All right.
Good. Thanks, guys. All right.
And we'll make sure.
High five for this weekend.
We'll make sure that you next time that you're on, there's no game after,
we want 3.
and so that you could just hang out. It'll be like either a break or a
Great
bye
stuff.
week, and you'll
Can we just
have some beers
chant
and hang
it?
out.
We'll
We
do
want 3. We want 3.
Uh-oh. Careful.
All right.
All right.
All the best, guys.
Thanks, Tim.
Good night.
John, come on over and have a seat.
Hey, John. You like how John tried to do a man shake? He's like, I came in with a man shake. Yeah,
no,
that's
yeah,
yours.
take it. That's yours now.
Don't try to throw it in the dumpster.
I want to see it during interviews. Oh no, that's happened before.
Me, I believe.
Yes. Bye, Coach. Joining us now is PR Director John Collider.
Wow.
It's John Coluder Mellencamp.
I deserve that.
It's James
I deserve
Collider.
that.
John
I deserve
Cuckold.
that.
I think I had your name in my phone as John
John
Collider.
John Cuckold.
John Cuckold. John Cuckold.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude.
Come on.
You know how many years?
At least mine was an honest mistake.
Honest mistake. 3 years ago.
Yeah. How long have we known each other?
Roughly 3 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long have you misspelled my name?
And even up,
roughly 3 years.
and I don't know that you can ever get past doing it live on air on 1070 for
That
Soccer
was-
Say with Andy Baumgrab.
Yeah, I knew right away. At least I knew right away it was incorrect.
Oh, well, especially when I stopped him, I was like, what was that
Hey,
again?
wait. Can we get Coluder to do his accent that he had that entire show for this show?
I could do
No,
it.
I've got.
Hey, you got the gear.
throat's a
You're
little,
Eastern.
little
I'll do it.
scratchy
I'll do it.
today,
Yeah.
so
Hey,
no.
welcome to Soccer Saturday with Permanent Relegation podcast.
Yes, we talk about the soccer show.
So
It's
somewhere
best.
between Eastern European and Harry Carey
Yeah.
is what you're saying.
We go out and we get the hot, sexy
Wow,
American
big
guys.
That's what it was. So yeah,
It's
the wild-
exactly what it was. Hey, Pavel.
fucking Steve
the
Martin over
the
here.
best part was my girlfriend, right? As she's listening to it, is like just messaged me when you said it. It's like Baumgarten.
Immediately pissed off.
Oh yeah, no, I pissed off. She's just like, "What the fuck? This guy's known you for a while now. What's going on?"
He got nervous. He did
It's
a really good
early.
job. Okay, hey, listen.
Early
He
9
hit the
o'clock
post,
on a Saturday morning. I'm
and you
not
hit the
awake.
post. I didn't
What do you
want
expect?
this. No, I said, give me a minute.
Too bad.
Oh, well, too
Damn,
bad.
Ross, I'll
Too
do
bad. He's just fucking with you. He's fucking with you.
I don't want no beer. I'm sorry.
This usually is a universal symbol for one more,
Yeah,
please.
true.
You know what? It's easy to like trick a homeless guy.
You know,
It's good.
Hey, I missed the first half of the show. Did Hankinson tell you the one about him and Valderrama hot wiring an 82 Nova and joyriding through the Everglades and picking up
Is that a real
Finland on the way?
Is that
oh,
a-
yeah. Oh, yeah. Fantastic.
Why did you not message me that and say ask Hankinson?
So we have the best
Yes.
hair in soccer ever.
Yes.
We have Miss Finland and we have hot wiring in the Everglades.
Fantastic story.
And
Fantastic
Valderrama.
story.
Wait. I just said
Oh,
the
okay,
best
sorry.
hair. Oh my.
No, I'm talking about Hankinson's got a really good hair in soccer though too. Yeah, see, thank you. He
no,
was on the
Valderrama.
same page.
The show's not long enough for that one.
I
Don't worry
feel
about it.
like we're missing a key component there, which was probably like dead body, because Everglades hot wiring.
Giant,
Yeah.
like dead body
Nah,
in the
they're-
trunk.
They were baby alligator hunting, 3 a.m. Long story. Long story.
So John Colluder. Now that
Thank
I fixed
you.
it in my
Thank
phone,
you, Andrew.
I have to see this guy twice this week. By the
That's
way,
I
unfortunate.
hear you have a business meeting
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah,
Nobody
I forgot
cares.
Yeah.
I forgot
So
we
let-
have to be adults on Friday.
Yeah,
That's-
no, yeah. When am I ever an adult?
Yeah, important.
Yeah, no. So anyway, Colluder has graced us with his presence for the
Yes.
last probably 10 minutes of the show.
Yep.
And we wanted to talk a little bit about some of the promotions that you have coming up for Indy 11. And I actually want to know, how do you
Yes.
think things are going so far this year? You're one of the old school guys.
You asked 2 questions that are
Wonderful.
so polar opposite. Of
Doesn't matter.
Let's
Yeah,
start
let's go
with.
one at a
Let's
time.
start with. Let's talk about promotions.
Well, no,
What's
I'd
going on
like to
Indiana?
start with the other one.
Fucking.
Too bad. Too bad we're starting promotions. First thing is get your asses to Westfield tomorrow night to watch the NPSL team play in the Open Cup game, because the Open Cup is the best
Tomorrow.
thing about American soccer. Yes.
What time is that
night,
game?
Wednesday night, 7 o'clock. Tickets are $5. I mean, if you can't scrounge up $5 to watch a game,
You're probably
in
not
the
listening to your show
one of
on
the
your
oldest
internet.
continuously running soccer tournaments on the planet, then I don't want to know yet.
Do they serve beer out there?
No. That's a no. Right there immediately. No.
I know they were talking about for regular season games. I'm not sure if they have.
Can we BYOB?
There's a parking lot. You can tailgate.
I guarantee you Peter Evans will be there because that dude loves the U.S. Open Cup.
Okay. I'll be there.
All right.
I love NPSL.
It's
I love our
like
team.
soccer meets March Madness. It's the best thing.
Yeah, dude.
Best thing
Fantastic.
ever.
Fantastic. Like,
Any given Wednesday.
Yes.
any
As U.S. Soccer dictates Wednesday fixtures, yes, on any given Wednesday this year.
Hey, Gunyon, would you like to be on the mic now?
No, we've already learned
Step
that.
on in. Step on in.
You sure about that?
The water's lukewarm.
Aaron will
Great.
start rubbing his head and he'll go, so,
Well, if I'd known that, I would have been sitting over there and staring at my phone for the last 25
fetuses are
minutes.
babies, right?
After the after
fetuses
Yeah.
are babies.
Well, join the club.
I don't know if you saw the tweet earlier.
That's what we do.
Did you see the tweet a couple days ago where we just fucking wrecked him? I mean,
No.
he's the new guy.
You keep saying, the way you say rectum, I keep thinking, yes, we did get all in his
Oh,
rectum.
yeah. It was like a full-on colon cleanse with our
keep
elbows.
it PG-13, please. Please.
No.
No,
Okay.
no, I had to restrain when Coach was here.
You did a good job. We did a really good job.
But
You
we
sound- I mean, again, I'm gonna have to go back and listen because I can't.
Shut the
I
fuck
can't
up.
hear.
You
No,
won't
I
listen to
can't.
the show.
I can't hear a word you guys are
You
saying.
won't
when
listen
I'm
to this
over
show,
here,
though.
So I
You
probably
never
won't. But
he didn't even listen to the
Just
show
the
we did
last-
live on Soccer Saturday.
just the last 15 minutes, so I can hear my own voice.
John
But,
he just completely zoned out even on Soccer Saturday. It's like,
Hey, an hour's a long time to fill. All right.
Yeah,
It's a
as we
long
know,
time.
as we know.
okay, so promotion. So we got tomorrow.
Promotions.
Yes.
Tomorrow, yep, $5, 7 o'clock kickoff.
Is it
in the
is it
11
birds
NPSL?
and wild animal night at
No,
NPSL?
just nothing but soccer tomorrow night. Nothing but soccer. It's soccer in its purest form tomorrow night. Sorry, no animals involved.
I can't wait till we have strikers and sloths night.
You know, you try to do nice things for animal lovers.
You know what?
And this is what
I'm
you
really
get.
glad that this is the last
This is
show
what you get.
that will ever have any of the 11 staff on the
I can't wait till we have iguanas and Iglesias fans.
No, honestly, the dogs
That's
and
not a
cats-
bad idea.
Listen,
Actually, maybe for Fort Lauderdale.
the dogs-
Maybe remind me of
Iguana
you.
and Iglesias.
Come up. Come on.
honestly, I'll be honest.
Great.
That the
You're on to
dogs,
something.
the fur balls night thing was a fantastic idea, especially for no, I'm serious because like
Did you vet the animals? And I don't mean that like
Am
that's
I
a double
like a
entendre.
vet?
No, like did all these animals get vetted before they came?
I'm pretty. Did
Are
we
you
check
house
for the
trained?
rabii shots? No, we didn't.
No, but like, did
No,
you like, hey, this dog's gonna
inoculations, no.
yap the hell for like fucking 90 minutes?
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
gonna
you
be really
guys
annoying.
do. I mean, what's
What's the
Wow.
difference? Wow, we
Well,
just
yeah,
that's
it's
true.
Yeah.
High five.
Well, you are a bitch, Andy. So it's cool.
Oh yeah, it's blamed on me.
No, I'm just kidding. So it's all good. All right, so we
just
have.
picking up the spare?
All
Anyway.
right, so next
Yes.
Saturday.
Next Saturday, lots of stuff going on. We've got our tank top and ticket promotion.
Uh-oh. The
Uh-oh.
ladies' night.
Wait, is it
Let the-
foam?
let the
Also
foam
known
party
as
let the guns
ladies'
out.
night. It's a foam party.
It is not that bad. It's for a good cause, at least. It's for Wish for Our Heroes.
Okay.
$25 gets you a East Goal bottom or end line section ticket, a Indy 11 camo tank top,
Uh-oh.
and a $5 donation to Wish for Our Heroes.
And that's Tank Top and Daisy Duke night, correct?
No, just
Ooh.
we're giving away tank tops. You can wear
Okay.
Daisy Dukes. That's optional. It's
Well,
you
good.
guys can't. That is not optional for you guys.
So it's
tell
Oh,
everyone
see, I
out
thought
there
I'm out.
listening,
I thought
we'll
it was
make
TNA night. That's what he was
it's
saying.
Military Appreciation Night,
Yes,
Saturday
military
21st.
/ IMS night
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
So we're
Wow,
working on
okay.
ways to work with the track and hopefully a driver
I don't-
or
I
two.
don't- I
It's
don't-
quals night.
Really,
so
you guys
they're
have like a tie
kinda-
to the track now? I didn't hear that
We've
you.
got good relations.
Oh, you
with
do
it.
now?
Yeah,
Oh.
it's not a bad
Yeah, that's
not
good.
a bad tie-in.
And this is a good month for that, I suppose.
Yeah,
Right?
it's May.
I hear good-
I hear there's a
honestly,
I
a
hear
good
there's a
year.
little race down there at the end.
I hear there's two.
I don't
There's two races
I don't
actually.
know.
I hear it's a
Go-karts.
special race.
Go-karts.
I hear it's a special, like, I think it's their 10th anniversary or something. 100.
First go-kart race. First go-kart race on the 29th.
It's actually a bumper car
Dude, that's
race.
awesome.
Memorial Day.
They put a ceiling on the IMS, and it's one of those ones that have the electric thing that run along the top.
They run
at
a
the fair.
a Pink Floyd The Wall light show,
how
laser
did
light
this go?
show. It's fantastic. It's gonna be dope.
Look at Chris. It's like, oh
If it was Laser Rush, I would be.
yeah, there it
That'd
is.
be amazing. Right. Today's Tom
Ooh.
Sawyer.
Listen, hold on, because I have that idea. Can we make Saturday, July 23rd against Edmonton Rush Night?
Yes,
It is family night
I
right
wrote
now.
about that.
Fuck the families. It's Rush
No.
night.
Families love Rush. We can tie
No,
those
they
in
really
together.
do. My family loves Rush.
I mean,
Can we fly in Geddy Lee? I want Geddy Lee to do them.
Working man special night.
I
There
want
you
Geddy
go.
Lee to do the Canadian
Every
anthem.
working man brings their family for a discount.
Aaron can't stand it right.
Geddy Lee.
I'll be the wrecking man.
But see, that's pre-Neil Peart, so you can't. I don't know. It's not really Rush.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah,
So,
it's got to be Neil Peart Rush.
All right.
actually, can we know?
Like
No,
Red
no, no.
Barchetta?
I got better. The next Edmonton game, I want it to be Ed, and Eddie night.
Oh God.
You know why, right?
You get to kick Eddie Edwards in the,
Eddie
in the
Edwards.
groin.
Yes, Eddie
if your
Edwards
name
from-
Ed or Edwards or something.
All I know is I heard so many Ed,
From
and Eddie
Edmonton.
chants
Yes.
during the game.
You did realize it, right? Eddie Edwards from the
Oh,
Eddies.
of course.
Yeah, great.
I've got something to talk about off air as well.
Good. That's great. So moving
Let's
on. All right.
plug.
Yes.
So the next
so
one.
we've got,
we got the
the
military
Wish for
night.
Heroes
Mhm.
Tank and Tea, benefiting Wish for Heroes special.
Okay.
We've got the $79 family 4-pack special is back for that
I love
night.
that he's coaching
So,
you
yes.
on this.
Thank you very much. Because I've got 7 seconds.
No,
I got
this is the 25. Bud Light
seven
Club.
words. It's
Bud
7
Light
words.
Club.
Oh man, 7 words.
sounds like-
You got 30 seconds to Mars. Go.
Jared Leto. My so-called life. No.
Joker.
Let's see. So the family 4-pack for that is 4 tickets, 4 hot dogs, 4 bags of chips, 4 sodas. For
Corn
79
dogs or just
bucks.
hot dogs?
Just hot dogs.
When are corn dogs coming back? Because Corey
Corn
Miller's
dog
been
night,
sad.
I think, is in August.
Okay, good.
Corn Dog Night is in August.
Yes.
Of course,
correct.
why wouldn't you know?
Right?
I'm on the single
we do
game.
have we do have the Bud Light Club add-on package. It comes automatic with Premier side seats. So if you get seats on the north sideline and Premier sideline or Premier midfield, you will get the automatic or the free all-you-can-eat buffet plus 2 free drinks, courtesy of our friends Bud Light.
Or also known as America Light.
Hey, do you like cheese?
Did you guys hear the news today?
No.
Budweiser is changing their name to America. And so now you can come to a bar
No.
and order America.
I'm sorry. The fact that Budweiser is owned by InBev.
100%.
Wait.
They're kind of Belgian. aren't they?
Yes, they're 100% Belgian.
Owned by InBev, and you're going to call yourself America now. Oh, where was that when you sold out for billions of dollars, you pieces of shit? I'm
Budweiser
sorry.
has named its beer America.
Ooh.
Interesting.
So it's America and America Light.
Well, the Bud Light Club is sponsored by Bud Light, so we're going to say
When does
you
that
can't
change?
you can't ridicule
That
them.
changes soon. I got to
Is
read
what-
the.
Is it America Light?
No,
then?
dude, it's literally the Budweiser can.
It's
It says
100%
America.
America. Yeah.
It says America.
America.
Now when beer snobs see you go to a bar and go, "I'd like a America, please," be like, "Oh, you drink America?
What?
America sucks."
Why didn't they just put it America? Like M-U-R-I-C-A.
Yeah. So that's for real.
So those are the promotions.
As I was saying,
Yes.
Yes.
but if you're not sitting on the north sideline in the premier sections, you could next $25 will get you the 2 drink special plus the all-you-can-eat buffet on the Bud Light Club, which is deck area closest to the BYD.
I'll tell you, that buffet is really good. I've seen
Is it as good
I mean,
as
I've-
the prime rib buffet at PT's?
Is anything?
Is anything? Good point. Good point. I'll drink
I've
to
never
that.
been.
Done.
Cheers.
Swear
Cheers.
to
Hey,
you.
thanks
Cheers.
for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for
Hey,
coming
is that a
on.
Boddington's?
Yes.
Of
Great.
course it is.
Way to drink local.
I get ridiculed if I drink America. So,
Don't drink
hey.
America.
That's not local either. But
Saturday, June 11th.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hopefully that's clinched the spring season night against Carolina.
Yes.
That's,
Also,
also a Pride night.
correct.
We are we're working with our partners from Circle City Pride because they have buku events that night.
They do.
Just kind of wrapping up Pride Week. So we are still going to support Pride for that night. We'll support their initiatives. Their ticket offer is going to be for a game later in July, but we're still plotting ways to celebrate Pride Night on June 11th. So
Let's not go too far ahead, but my favorite night of the year, Saturday, July 9th,
corn dog night,
craft beer night.
craft beer night.
That was good last year.
Yeah,
that
it
was
was.
fantastic.
I don't have any specifics on who will be there, but there will be local beer there. What more do you need to know?
Exactly.
Then you get to drink local beer for 2 hours before kickoff.
It's Minnesota, so they'll probably be like a really good team.
It's really,
Wonderful game.
it is, especially for those that drink local beer. It's really good.
I don't think Boddington's will have a booth there.
I think they might.
I fit it in now so I can drink local beers later.
Aaron's like, I'm so glad Cluter came. This is so much better because you just don't get the ridicule.
Yeah, really, it's like it's a weight off his chest.
This is how you take it. Aaron. This is how you take the
You just-
ridicule.
You can take it in, and then it's like a Coke bottle.
Okay,
Right, okay.
so since you're on the mic,
Yes.
I don't want to talk about promotions anymore.
I want
I want to talk about what you think about this season so far. How are things going?
It's been
Don't give me a bullshit answer.
And you know what?
No, it's a legit answer.
It's been refreshing because we were undefeated through 4 games last year as well. I think people have a hard time remembering that.
There's a lot of ties.
It's got a different feel to it. It really does have a different sense of almost rebirth / momentum / enthusiasm behind it. Because honestly, we didn't know what to expect at the start of the year.
Right.
So the plan was to grind out points while this team figures out who they are and what they do. We honestly, I don't know if you said 5 games through the spring season, are you going to be in contention for the spring title? We might have said, probably not, but it'd be nice. And to be a game out
right
at this point,
sure,
with the schedule lying out as it does, is I don't know if you can ask for anything
that last game
other than 2 points, 2 more points from Saturday night.
That last game of the spring season is going to fucking be crazy.
Wouldn't that be something to have a de facto spring season championship at the mic on June 11th? How nuts would that be?
Wait, nobody can hear you because your mic's off, dipshit.
Yeah,
I can't hear you either.
How ridiculous would that atmosphere be?
Check.
Yeah,
there you go.
It would be the most meaningful game at the mic we've ever seen. It would be amazing.
Easily.
It's like fucking Silent Bob just showed up. And he said something impactful, and he just disappeared back again. It's just so good. I love that. I've waited.
Have a heart, man. Say goodbye to the kitties.
Exactly. I will tell you that my girlfriend said, "Who is this Zach Galifianakis look like wearing the blazer, seemingly blurred as hell on his cell phone?" Oh, what was it?
Snoochie Boochies.
Snoochie.
That's right. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
Yep. I'll get the quick mark.
I'm not even supposed to be here today.
Not even supposed to be here today.
Right.
You mean I have to drink this coffee hot?
All right. I want to take.
I thought about going the guy with the eggs in the supermarket once, but I figured it wasn't worth it.
I want this guy to get on the mic because I want him to talk about this.
You got to talk about this.
This is. Well, hang on. No, wait. Ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
I want to take a brief moment to introduce you to a new segment that we call the Gunyon Funyun Corner. With our special guest.
Funyuns? You're holding out on
Dude,
me?
Fuji's and Funyuns. He's all about Fuji's and Funyuns. It was all about Fuji's.
Every time I think of my brother, I think about Fuji's and Fuji's. But that's because my dog's name is Funyuns.
Okay, so welcome to the Gunyon Corner. We're going to talk today. We want to talk about a special
the Ayman
charity.
Zayed rule.
Yep, the Ayman Zayed rule and a special charity. And there's nobody better to talk about this than our own Aaron Gunyon. We want to thank you for popping on here.
Thanks, guys, for having me on. The Ayman Zayed rule is a really cool thing. I don't know if you guys have talked to Ayman Zayed, right?
No. Apparently, Indy 11 doesn't know that I do what I do because I got a call from Chris who says, "Hey, we noticed that you bought a ticket or got a ticket for Indy 11, and we want to let you know there's a BYB event where you could meet
Chris at your ticket."
Chris Stott.
Yeah. Yep. He's like, hey, where you could meet. You could meet.
You could meet Ayman Zayed.
And I was like, oh.
Chris calls me and goes, "Dude, I just got a phone call from Indy 11, and I can meet this Ayman Zayed guy."
I was like, I'm so excited. I'm super excited to hear this guy. Anyways, we just took away from the Gunyon Corner.
No, Funyun Gunyon. Gunyon Funyun Corner.
Right.
Extravaganza.
I love Funyuns.
Who doesn't?
You better have
So
Is that
from
a
the time that I
toddy?
was 5 years old, I think everyone realized my last name rhymed with Funyuns. So
Is that a toddy Roma jersey?
it's a on special Roma jersey.
Name me 3 players.
Oh, that would never happen. Well, that would absolutely never happen.
Three guys that used to play with Michael Bradley.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, okay. Let me start by saying this color is really flattering on me.
It brings out your eyes.
Yeah, it brings out your ginger beard.
And then I bought my wife a USA jersey on World Soccer Shop, and while I was on there, I was like, "Oh, that shit's on sale." Added 2 carts.
So you got the one cub with the, or you got the one club that's got the suckling animals on the teat.
Yep.
As a logo.
It's fitting. It's how I feel right now.
Cool. Get on it. Anyways, all right, let's talk about this.
So,
talk about goals for kids and Ayman Zayed rule.
Yeah, so Playworks Indiana is a really cool foundation, and what they do is they set up after-school activities for kids and make sure they get playtime and recess and all sorts of other things to keep them active and get them involved in their classroom projects with a little bit of steam burned off and working out. Ayman Zayed, I'm getting made fun of for pausing to breathe.
Would you shut up, Andy? This is serious.
Ayman Zayed is a really cool guy, and you should listen to it anytime he tells a story. But he has a really special story about a time when he was in in Libya, and the government had made a special rule preventing him from playing with the club he wanted to play for.
Right. Why was that?
Because the government controlled one specific club, and they wanted him to be on that club, and so they said,
you can't play for this other club.
We are going to prevent you from playing for anyone except for our Gaddafi-run club.
Right.
Well, Aaron Gunyon just got on a list.
We don't really.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, you're a little late on that one, but that's okay.
Right.
But the point is,
geopolitics. You need to get up on top of it. Let's go. I love you.
The point is, it was referred to as the Ayman Zayed rule, and I thought, how cool would it be if we took back the Ayman Zayed rule and made it something about kids and something about a local community here? Ayman Zayed has embraced Indianapolis and this team, and he wants to be a part of the community. He said this is a great idea. When I talked to Ayman, he said this is fantastic. I'd like to have the Ayman Zayed rule actually mean something important. And he has said something to the effect of no kid should ever be denied an opportunity to play and have fun, just like I was denied an opportunity to play for the club I wanted. He's on board 100%. Every time Ayman Zayed scores this season for Indy 11, people will be donating to charity, and that money will benefit Playworks Indiana. You can go online. You can go to Permanent Relegation. You can go to, you can follow the hashtag wherever you see Ayman Zayed rule.
Bloody Shambles. You can go to Bloody Shambles.
You can go to bloodyshambles.com. You can go a lot of different places.
Can you go to Indy11.com and check out this Ayman Zayed rule?
Probably not.
Not yet, but I'm working on it.
Yeah,
it's in the queue.
It's in the queue.
But it's kind of a as needed per goal basis. It's every time Ayman scores. So what we get to do is we get to celebrate and we get to donate to charity every time Ayman Zayed scores. He's a fantastic international striker. He averages about 1 goal every 2 games, so he's a little bit behind on his average right now. But I
hope he's not fucking listening right now.
Yeah, I hope he's fucking listening, and I hope he fucking scores some fucking goals.
Because I can tell you what, this Mike goes tired of making bricks for his ass if he's not going to come take them at the end of them.
I heard that Michael had 6 bricks in his backpack.
7.
Yeah, he did.
7.
Yep. Yeah, he only gave away 1 to Vuko.
Because one was for Bush.
Zayed was pointing to the corner again last week. He was saying, prepare some bricks for me, and Michael got all excited.
Yeah.
I think 7 bricks is a tad ambitious
I think
for any Indy 11 squad, no matter how good they are.
You never know where I'm going to put up a half dozen. You know?
Yeah, it's not like we're playing Fort Lauderdale last season.
Yeah,
easy there.
Too soon.
Oh my God.
Easy there.
Wow.
little too soon.
Christ.
It's awesome.
That credential could be revoked,
This is why, it says the wrong podcast on it. But anyway, we have, so we have these buckets here.
About the kids. About the kids.
Here.
Yeah.
So listen, check out these buckets.
We're at the tailgates.
If you say James Cormack, Caleb Ramp, myself, Christopher,
or this guy who no longer has media credentials,
the guy who has to buy BYB tickets,
and he's about to spill some beer because he doesn't know how
Jesus,
to
man.
Come on, get it together, Gunyon.
That's why they don't let you talk.
Cut me off.
But check us. Come find us at the tailgate. During watch parties here, during away watch parties, Chris and I will be here, or one of us will be here to watch the Indy 11 on away games, and we'll have the bucket here. I think James will have them at Union Jack as well.
Get a picture of the bucket.
Sure. James will have these buckets at Union Jack at the watch parties as well. So come and get you put your money in here. I think we've from the game from last week, we have raised, I think, $80. Yeah, this is an arbitrary number that I just threw out, but
nobody can check it.
Yeah, nobody can check it. There's money in here though.
It's jingling.
It's jingling. A lot of change.
But there's also
dollars in there.
I snuck in there and I looked and I said, "Well, there's the."
Is there some Benjis in there? Is there some Harriet Tubmans in there?
Dude, there's some.
So you can donate.
That is literally too soon.
You can make one-time donations. You can make pledge-based donations.
Yes.
You can decide to sign up and say you want to give $1 per goal.
There's
$10
a form
per goal
available.
Yeah. I would put Ayman down. I mean, not to put too much pressure on him or Indy 11, but easily 9 to 10 goals ought to make a lot of sense for him through a 30-game season.
I would say so. And if you just kind of want to get an idea of the guy's history as well, it was an interesting chat that we had with him as well.
Yeah.
If you go back and listen to our show with him, he's got quite the history and he's played in a lot of places.
Or if you're like me, go back and listen for the first time.
Oh my God.
No, that'd be great. So as first time listener, you probably should because you probably learned something about your players.
You know, it'd be a good intro for the show.
What?
Is my name's John Kluter, and I've never listened to this show. Here you go.
Right. So good. And here's permanent relegation.
Rack 'em. From Twitter, at Soccer with Brian said, "I want angry Aaron Gunyon more on the permanent relegation podcast. I like it."
No, I agree, and I love angry Aaron. I also like having players on the show. So there's
so
that.
he can sit over there while players are sitting over here.
It's a delicate balance.
It is. It's like a delicate flower that I just rub on my.
Let's all be honest. Everybody was frustrated after the game over the
course.
weekend.
Of course.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everyone.
Your article was fantastic because it was literally like it's okay to be disappointed.
How did
my point.
how did that article? I didn't get to read the ending. How did it end?
It ended with a really positive Hankinson quote, actually.
What was the quote?
Looking for, well, I can't do it off the top of my head, but it was
I'll look it
looking
up.
through and ahead to the end of the spring season. I'll find it for you. We can fill some time in the meantime. We can talk about how Indy 11 read my article and decided not to retweet it.
That is an editorial decision. Indy 11 does not apologize for that.
The best part was
at Indy 11 does
Listen,
not apologize.
listen, the best
so
part
I can make it more inclusive.
The best part about that was he's like, guarantee the front office isn't going to retweet this.
This will be the first one to go. We'll wait till the next game preview.
But he will say it was probably
it was just by accident.
It was solid.
I didn't mean to not retweet it.
No, that's okay.
The final quote was, "We have big games ahead. We finished with Carolina, the first place team at home, so we just have to keep building points. We will look at ourselves and say we are undefeated, the only team in the league, and as long as we keep moving in that direction, whether it's 3 or 1, those are positive things to look forward to." Quoted by Coach
Read me the line below that we went through because I actually haven't read this. I want to see what you actually wrote. We talked about this last night. What do you write right below that? We want 3, we want 3.
Hold on. I kind of want to build this up a little bit. So I had been drinking a little bit while I had been writing, and I had been stewing since Saturday night.
Easy there, Hemingway.
I had a few Chardonnays.
No, he told me
it wasn't Chardonnay.
No, it was. Listen.
Were you petting your cat with 5 fingers as well?
Let me tell you how this story went down on this. He goes, listen, I may have had a few Chardonnays. I was like, do you have your laptop in a fucking bubble bath right now? What's your Chardonnay?
Was this when you messaged him and said, I got to call you right now?
I got to call you. And he goes, okay, my Chardonnays, it might be whiskey.
The best part is now if you're watching the YouTube right now, I see Aaron Gunyon writing articles like this.
How do I feel?
Just writing it with one hand.
I'm wearing a smoking jacket.
First of all, I don't respect anyone who writes while drinking white wine. I mean, come on. Second of all, congratulations for not electrocuting yourself in the bubble bath.
Yeah, right.
That is hard to pull off.
It was Ninja Turtles bubble bath too, wasn't it?
Okay.
I love the Ninja Turtles almost as much.
Yeah.
Anyway, where the hell were we? So building it up, I'm talking to my editor on the phone last night.
My editor? Excuse me, co-editor. Thank you very much.
No, because you didn't give any damn input. You just go, that's great.
I was asleep. I was asleep by the time you guys were talking to each other.
Aaron with a 3/4 full, 3/4 lit cigarette hanging out of his mouth
with the black
hole pecking away at a typewriter.
I've got a deadline.
It's almost done.
It's almost done.
Like our deadline's in 5 minutes. I'm almost there, boss. I'm almost there. I got a couple quotes I got to add in for the.
He's got a hat that has a little piece of paper that says "press" in it.
Okay.
Can you go to the next game with
glad
a
you
hat?
didn't wear your fedora tonight.
Okay, so can we just get to a story? So we're talking. This is great.
You were looking forward to Kluter being on the mic so that you wouldn't get made fun of, but now all 3 of us are making fun of you.
Yeah, I don't feel bad.
Okay, all right, it's all good.
You fit
I got talked down off the ledge, basically. I wasn't sure if I was going too far.
This guy's good at that, by the way.
And at Cibala came to me and he said, I need to talk to you. We'll do a one-on-one. And he called me right away because he thought I was going to hit publish. And he said, perhaps let's lift people up.
Yeah, and my philosophy behind this, and I explained to him, as I said,
story.
Well, no, is listen, we're all emotional, and we not only do we cover this team, but we feel a lot of emotions about this team because we love it so much, and we've talked about this. I've got emotion on the show to the point where I broke down.
Yeah,
and that was with Cormac, and because it was so frustrating. last year, and I got emotional. But so
you were pretty drunk at that point too.
Alcohol may have had something to do with it too. It happens. So no, but I said, and it comes with also what I do with work and just in general is I always find that you got to get that emotion out. And I think you get to the points, and Aaron nailed every single piece. And I agreed with everything that he said. I said, you know what really helps people, though, is right at the end, you got to give them that taste of something like, you know what, even though it was kind of shit and it felt bad and it felt kind of dirty, God damn it, this whole beginning season, though, still feels good. This feels different and just a little bit of uplift. And he was like, nope, this is what I appreciate. I appreciate feedback. This is good. And I got to give him credit for the fact that this guy's been writing for a really long time, and I have no way, shape, or form I should not be telling him anything on this at all. And he was so open and so unbelievably courteous to listen to me, and didn't like immediately like splash the water around real hard in his tub and make weird noises at me.
I don't hang this.
Right.
I just spilled my whiskey.
I don't agree at all.
Well,
right.
and
he was great. He was
I think
amazing.
that's the thing that he doesn't realize, though, and this is the dynamic that you don't see behind the microphone or the Twitter pages or the blogs or anything like that, is that that's what him and I have been doing for a long time, is that if I want to, like, because I'll do most of the tweeting, and if I'm like, hey, I want to tweet this, and he's like, yeah, you probably shouldn't. Or if he wants to say something where he's just fired up, I'm like, yeah, you need to just chill for a second, listen to it. But that's where that dynamic comes into, is regardless of what the writing or the multimedia experiences is, that we're all friends and we're all just trying to be like, hey, listen, just chill out.
And you know, from a club standpoint, we encourage folks to write whatever they want. We have the best bloggers covering in the NASL. It's not even close. It's not even close how many people cover us.
It's not just me. It's not just me. There's a lot of people.
Yeah, but it's not just how many people cover.
We do have the best.
How many? Yeah, you're right up there.
Yeah, he's like, yeah.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Right.
No, but not just the number of
top
guys
10
that
out of
cover
10
us.
is still 10, top 10.
I mean, you're easily in the top 5.
This guy with the jokes all of a sudden.
No, but it's not just the knowledge. It's not just the number of people that covers, but the knowledge of the people and the passion that they bring. And from our standpoint, tell us we're great. Tell us we're shite. I don't care from PR standpoint. I might not be able to retweet you for fear of retribution from some of the guys that are actually on the field and pouring their blood, sweat, and tears out. But don't take that as a knock against any of the work that's being done, because it's good stuff. So I think it's honestly, we enjoy the passion that spills out from the pages of all the bloggers, and it makes up for the coverage that maybe lacks from mainstream media, because
but it's so much different now.
I mean, people have to read it.
It's so much more, though, now. Like this year, think about that. Like, I know you have a certain amount of media passes you can give, but I think you have exponentially more things to either look at, to tweet, or retweet. Right. And as somebody who's got to be on the social media piece,
it's more consistent. Last year, I think.
I hear you have a full-time person now who actually helps you now, because you have so much.
Since I wasn't writing content for the last 18 months.
They basically were like, hey, John, you're like, shitty at this. Hire somebody.
This kid's all right. It's not that I was shitty. It's just that I didn't have the time.
Well,
but still,
Scott Stewart,
as John likes to say, MLS quality on an NASL budget.
Hey, we're trying, man. We're trying.
Right.
It's what is demanded of us.
Scott has done
to fulfill.
Scott has done a fantastic job.
Fantastic work.
I think you see him on the field a lot with the Snapchats. Mm-hmm. I think he runs the Snapchats a lot.
Snapchat. I'm releasing my ironclad grip more on the Twitter.
Sure.
And the Facebooks. Let him do more of that.
I don't like that though. I don't like that. I like knowing that John Kluter runs the Twitter page.
Well, I need to.
Now I have to bring Scott on and have him have some drinks.
No. Who's Scott? Scotty Duke.
Scotty Duke. Old enough to drink?
He's too highbrow for the show.
Is he an intern?
No, I can't. I've seen him enjoy a beverage here.
Okay, all right. Well, Aaron was wondering if he was old enough to drink. He does look a little young.
He does.
It's
the
advantage of youth.
A little fresh under the collar, if you will. But no, you guys have grown. The great.
Quit looking at boys under the collar. That's weird, Andy.
It's all right. I know what I like. But
just goes weird.
Anyway,
so about the kids.
No, but what I was saying is that
gets around a donation plate and stuff gets weird.
Since we have you on here, and you essentially representing front office now mainly for this show because you've been on a lot. Yeah, we deal with you directly. The cool part is that you guys have kept that mentality of giving people like us that voice, and that's one of the things we told Coach even before we went on the air. He's like, listen, we have that, because he was wondering how you guys got started. He's like, how'd you guys get started? And we're like, well, this is what happened, and now Colluder basically gives us essentially
carte blanche
what we want because we give you that real.
You guys do something that no one else does. Yeah. I mean, I wish we could have our own podcast in-house, and maybe that's something with Scott on board.
Well, if you could pay us, we could be official Indy 11.
But we don't need to because fans are conditioned, and I think it's better
we need
that
to take
way
this
because
offline because I think there's about to be a union strike. All podcasts and all bloggers.
Work stoppage.
I can tell you this.
Is retweeting nuts payments enough?
No. It's like we've never asked for anything like super special or anything like that, but it's one of those things too where if there was, I guess what we've heard is if there was an Indy 11 podcast, people wouldn't want to listen to it because we're not. We love the team, but we're not associated.
We would have to do something completely different because
it would have to
honestly,
be like news.
You guys do this better than what we could do.
Well,
because you guys
I'm fucking editing that and putting that as a promo shot.
Well, and honestly,
this is 8/26.
We could not
26.
We couldn't get away with a lot of the stuff that we do, though, and I think that's what also makes it great, is because we get to talk to players in a particular way that a lot of media can't. Absolutely, and we'd have to be very.
Okay, it's a lot more unfiltered.
Well, that's why we do it at a bar, though, too.
That's why it's more entertaining.
It's because we want people want to hear.
Yeah, they know our story. They don't care.
Yeah.
So moving on. They've heard this story 1,000 times.
They want to hear us talk to people.
Yep. So that's it.
For some strange
All right, listen.
reason.
We got 3 minutes. We can talk about something.
Yeah, no.
To make it
I'm
8:30.
All
right, so here's a little promotion. So Champions League final is coming up.
Oh, yeah. Let's talk about
so
this.
We have a dual promo going on
here. We
here.
haven't really talked to him about it, though.
No, it's fine. But I'm going to tell you what we're doing, and then we'll see if there's anybody else. I'm not including anybody else yet.
Synergies.
though.
So we have an away game at
May 28th.
May 28th. We're playing. I'll have to look.
We are at Miami.
Oh, yeah, because it's the Florida stint.
Yep.
Yes.
So we're at Miami.
Yeah, we're in the Florida portion of our schedule right now.
Because it's like Fort Lauderdale, then home, then Miami, and then Tampa Bay, I think, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we're down in Miami, but it's also Champions League final.
It's not Tampa Bay.
No.
I don't know.
It's Miami and then, Jacksonville.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because we already played Tampa at home.
Yeah, that's true.
So, again, here we are. So, May 28th, Champions League final, Real Madrid, my babies. My babies, me and Guijo. So, he's involved in this. He's involved in this. That's the point. So, we're going to do a dual promotion here. So, we are going to have a viewing party for Champions League final here at Chatham Tap Fishers. Andy will be here. We'll see what we can do Indy 11-wise. We don't know yet, but we're going to be there.
Since
and
it is an away game.
Right, and Guijo and myself are going to be down at St. Joe's.
Right.
We're going to have a viewership there, and then I am going to migrate back up here for the Indy 11 watch party up here. So it's going to be a full day. I'm going to be exhausted.
I think you should have some type of telethon between games to raise money for the Eamon Zayed.
Oh, we'll have buckets.
This is going to be a live telethon.
No, I think what's going to happen is
a 4-hour
Chardonnays and buckets.
It's called.
That needs to be your new Twitter handle.
Champions League Chardonnays and Buckets.
Aaron Gunyon's new Twitter handle is @Chardonnays and Buckets.
Uncle Drew always says it's all about getting buckets. And
Hashtag Shard Bucks.
Eamon Zayed. I think Eamon Zayed's new thing should just be @buckets. Just buckets.
He just needs to yell buckets afterwards.
Z buckets.
Z bucket. This is getting crazy.
All right, so the point is, either head down to St. Joe's.
Chris will be down there. Chris and Guijo. I'll be up here.
And if you don't know Guijo,
you clearly haven't lived in Indianapolis for like 3 weeks.
Who do you think Who do you think knows more people, Guijo or Molly?
It's a tie. It really is a tie. Between
Molly,
them, they
Molly
know
knows better.
87% of Marion County. It's the most impressive thing I've ever seen.
And I love Molly and the history there, but I love Guijo more. Guijo is my man.
He's a better dancer.
He's a better dancer. He knows
Yeah,
17. He knows 17 languages.
That dude is cool as shit too.
He dresses well.
He is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met in my life.
We are all jealous of Gijo on
Yes,
certain
I love
levels.
Gijo.
Oh yeah,
We're all jealous.
Dude's awesome. So
Every
either St.
dude
Joe
wants to do him or be him.
Okay,
And
well,
every woman
all
wants
right, yeah,
to.
let's cut this.
And we've got to
Let's
that point.
stop the show.
We know who Chris's man crush is,
Yeah,
but
he knows
we're gonna go either head down to St. Joe on May 28th. We'll talk about this
Zidane
again.
is number one.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, because we'll probably have another show right before that anyway.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we'll
Just
have to
let me
work
know.
with you on who's
Yes,
going to
you
be
will.
next level. But anyway, we'd like to thank Coach Hankinson for coming on.
Dude, amazing.
James Collider for joining us from the PR department of
Aaron, no more Access Gunyon.
you're not allowed, Aaron. I'm not allowed to write on Chardonnay and Bubble Bass again.
Headphones. I'm just gonna call you radio. What do you
Yeah.
do with your headphones? You just like don't touch my headphones.
It's awful. It sounds
Listen,
like garbage.
he's doing the remix. He's like
I was gonna say he's getting the wasn't that Phil Collins?
he's trying to get the beats per minute. And trying to, yeah, there it is.
I was thinking We Are the World. So wasn't he the one doing We
Oh
Are
yeah,
the World?
where he had both of them like this.
No, Stevie Wonder.
Anyways,
Yeah, Stevie Wonder.
Let's move.
Okay, yep. Stevie Wonder and Phil
You
Collins.
just did a
Get
Stevie
those-
Wonder move and called it Phil Collins.
Stevie Wonder and Phil Collins.
Steve Collins-
Phil
Collins
get them
was it.
mixed up all the time.
I always have a.
That's Stevie Collins.
I do. I was like, I have a
He's-
stiff Stevie
he's
Collins
down.
and I write some blogs.
Aaron, our resident DJ, is about to spin some tunes for Chatham Tap and Fishers.
Okay.
But anyway, at Caged Fear,
At Cibola.
at Indy 11.
At Indy 11.
Generally,
Yeah, basically, don't tweet his personal account. He'll never
you don't
reply.
want to see that.
At A Gunyon, we talk about him all the time. Follow us on Facebook. We're only 67 likes, follows away from 1,000 followers on
That's
Twitter.
frightening.
Yeah,
Good for
right.
you guys.
Yeah.
Good for
Yeah.
you guys.
So
And real quick, shout out to Jay at the bar.
Jay and Maz.
Jay.
You know what? We're gonna. I talked to Maz before you came here. We need to put Maz on the website as our resident waiter for the show.
Oh, shit, that's true. That's
Yes.
really bad.
So homeless Jesus at Chatham Tap and
I need to
Fishers.
create him on Twitter because I don't think he has one.
I'll just tweet from him.
At Chatham Jesus.
But anyway, follow us on Twitter at PR Podcast Show.
Read the latest that just came out. It is the game review. Just released
Emotionally
today.
charged.
Emotionally charged review. We will obviously, I assume, have a pre-game
Hopefully.
preview, little game preview,
That's a hint.
and it's going to be
Get on
emotionally
it.
charged. It's going to be unemotionally charged.
Okay, listen, Hankinson got me fired up. How great is this coach?
Is like
Do it. Finish this off positively. Do it, guys.
Hankinson's got me fired up, and I like the way he spins it. And after he has a chance to decompress and handle the emotions, he was disappointed too on Saturday.
Yeah.
But now he's looking forward to the spring, and he knows where we are on the table. He knows what the team can be, and I think he's looking forward to tweaking some of these players. He does need to get some more goals out of the people up front, and we'll see what he can get done.
For someone who's so great at writing and so shitty on the mic, he has a fantastic voice.
God, he's got such. He's
God
got.
damn it. It's
He
so
literally
smooth.
has. As much as he has a radio voice, he has a radio face.
But it's not as good as this, boys. Yeah.
I have a face for radio and a voice for print.
We have a picture to show John Kluter after the show's over.
Lord.
So
It's a new segment.
we have a
I'm
new
gonna start.
segment on the website. Is this John Kluter?
No, it's not John Kluter.
not
right?
John Kluter.
Not
sorry.
John Kluter, right?
Okay,
You remember like not Scott Van Pelt? That's a new segment with you.
Anyway,
You two, I think I'm going to send you into not Scott
I
Van
was gonna
Pelt.
say, I feel like I could look.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for listening.
yes,
as
thanks
always.
everybody.
I hope you enjoyed this one.
Yeah. All right.
Goodbye.
See you
Hey,
later.
Hala Madrid, give it to me. It's
Yeah.
Champions League.
No,
final.
yeah, I will. Glory, Man United.